Of any steps we could take walking in the footsteps of the Buddha, the pilgrimage from Dungeshwari Caves to Bodhgaya was the most auspicious. Monk Gautama, we imagined, followed the razor's edge of Dangsiri Mountain, walked through the villages and fields, and collapsed to the ground, close to death.
There, at the banks of the Niranjana River, Sujata saved his life by feeding him. Gaining strength, he bathed, crossed the river, and sat under a Bodhi tree, where he attained enlightenment. Now we would take those steps.
We're Selah and Lloyd, a father-daughter team.
Starting in Delhi, we're taking the long route to Kathmandu by road, rail, and river, going to the wildest places, craziest festivals, tallest mountains, holiest pilgrimage sites, and busiest cities we could find. On day 16, we traveled to Bodhgaya by train and auto rickshaw. We're heading to the Dungeshwari Caves. That's where we'll start our pilgrimage. Now that you've seen it, what do you think? Do you wanna do our whole pilgrimage, or just go up and back down?
I think I want to do the walk.
Okay, I think it'll be quite an adventure. We keep getting asked about if we want to take a motorcycle ride up. I think that Selah's stronger than they think she is.
There are like 1,000 monkeys here, and they're all just playing around. Whoa! Hi! Hi, guys!
Whoa. Oh my gosh. Selah. Okay.
Yeah, picture. Good.
That's a baby. Give it. Oh my gosh.
The monkey was like on my head, and it was crazy because they were like pushing me down when I was giving them treats.
Did you feel safe though?
Yeah, for the most part.
Except when you were on the ground, surrounded by monkeys?
At bedtime for months, my dad read me Thich Nhat Hanh's Old Path, White Clouds, a book about the life of the Buddha. And in India, I wanted to experience those areas in real life, walking in the footsteps of the Buddha.
Siddhartha reached the Niranjara River. He waded across it and walked until he reached Dangsiri Mountain. The steep and rocky slopes ended in saw-toothed peaks and concealed many caves. Siddhartha resolved to remain here until he discovered the way to liberation.
Further up the trail, we found a man selling flower offerings.
You happy? I am happy.
Look at all the gold.
You can arrange them the way you want, okay? There. Siddhartha meditated in the caves, nearby forest, and cemetery of Dangsiri Mountain for 6 years, starving himself and practicing extreme asceticism. And then one day, while practicing sitting meditation in a cemetery, Siddhartha realized with a jolt how wrong the path of self-mortification was. He realized that body and mind formed one reality which could not be separated. The peace and comfort of the body were directly related to the peace and comfort of the mind. To abuse the body was to abuse the mind. Thus Siddhartha left the Dungeshwari Caves, heading southwest. And now we'd follow his path as we imagined it. You can see all the cattle paths, and we're kind of following it around, and then we'll head up.
We're having breakfast. It's just biscuits, bananas, and mango juice.
How hot's it gonna be today?
Probably over 100.
feels amazing up here, just walking in the footsteps of the Buddha, and I have chills. I don't think I'll ever forget this day with you.
I really like walking on the cliff's edge and just having the amazing view. I understand why the Buddha and now we are walking along the ridge. It'll be really hard to do this, but I think we can make it happen.
It's a little bit too much of an edge here. We don't think the Buddha would have walked this way, so we're gonna go down that way.
This is much safer. We kind of did a long trip on these mountainsides that were really steep and also very hot. Our next step, we're gonna go down to the road and walk to the river. I just found a porcupine quill on the way down.
It's
I
so
really
cool.
like it.
That's awesome. That pot up there is where they collect the sugars from the tree, and they make, some people call it treacle, and it's similar to honey or agave syrup or that kind of thing when it's done. We just came down the mountain and we're heading this way.
Without the breeze of the mountain ridge and with the heat of the middle of the day, I was extra hot after walking since sunrise, and we used shade and water whenever we could.
It's dripping down. It's all cool. They're fixing up the bridge, but we're still gonna cross. All right, we're crossing the riverbed, and here's the road construction. Thank you. Woo! Yeah, it's good. What's your name?
My name is Nandu.
Yeah, good to meet you, Namdu.
I'm
Yeah.
very happy. You are not normal person, and we are also not normal person. You understand me, I understand you.
Yeah. He just invited us for tea, and that's such an amazing invitation. It's great, and he lives just a couple villages over.
This is the Totoro tree. It's basically from a movie, and Totoro is a big gray bear. But like one that can like fly, and he sleeps on a tree like this.
I think he's like a Japanese tree spirit, right?
Yeah.
In a way, that looks after the kids. You want to open it, and then we can all have some?
But we are rounding on mountain 3 months, and I know that is the real, but I don't know how to explain and how to explore so.
Right.
Because we see the natural water and many things natural on the mountain.
But I think what you're doing is great. You said you went
I
every
don't know.
every day for
Yes,
3 months around the
yes,
mountain.
We don't know how to explore that place and how to invite the people to please come to see this is the real one.
Namaskar.
We just got a limca from this family.
Now we can rest. It's very hot today, right?
And this is very fizzy.
Fizzy and cold. So we're very, very grateful he invited us to his house for a cup of tea. Oh, it's very nice to meet you also. You have tea?
Yes.
Okay, cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Hot?
It's very good. It's like lemongrass and sweet. You like lemongrass?
Very hot.
This is the everyday routine of our body.
So we come down from the mountains and then we meet you and you invite us for tea. So for me it's symbolic of here we are, we're on the area, in the area where Sujata was, and you are like our Sujata.
I'm not Sujata,
You're offering us. Yeah, so you're practicing by offering this to us. So thank you.
What do you have offer?
Thank you. Yes. What's this village called? What's the name of your village?
Ratnara Ganga Bitha.
Over there are guava trees, and this is a big mango tree.
Nandu, thank you.
I'll take care.
We'll see you. He was very nice.
Yeah.
We were fortunate to meet him on the trail.
We're going to Sujata, where Sujata gave milk, rice, sweet rice, milk mixture to the Buddha.
He lay unconscious for some time before a young girl from the village appeared. 13-year-old Sujata had been sent by her mother to carry rice milk, cakes, and lotus seeds to offer to the forest gods. When she saw the monk lying unconscious on the road, barely breathing, she knelt down and placed a bowl of milk to his lips. She knew he was an ascetic who had fainted from weakness. When the drops of milk moistened his tongue and throat, Siddhartha responded immediately. I have been practicing meditation in the mountains. Harsh ascetic discipline has left my body weak. Thanks to you, my life has been saved. Siddhartha told her, I have seen that abusing the body cannot help one to find peace or understanding. The body is not just an instrument, it is the temple of the spirit, the raft by which we cross to the other shore. I will no longer practice self-mortification. Siddhartha pointed out the Dangsiri Mountain where he had lived in the caves. Beginning today, I will not return there. This is probably where the Buddha would have crossed, and he would have bathed here after Sujata fed him, but there's no water. It's so dry and hot now. We're at the Mahabodhi Temple at the entrance, so we haven't seen it yet.
Wow, it's really beautiful.
This forest is cool and refreshing. There is a magnificent peepala tree, which I shall make the place of my practice. Looking deeply at the leaf, he saw clearly the presence of the sun and stars. Without the sun, without light and warmth, the leaf could not exist. This was like this, because that was like that. He also saw in the leaf the presence of clouds. Without clouds, there would be no rain, and without rain, the leaf could not be. He saw the earth, time, space, and mind. All were present in the leaf. In fact, at that very moment, the entire universe existed in that leaf. The reality of the leaf was a wondrous miracle. In the past, Siddhartha had looked for ways to vanquish fear, anger, and greed, but the methods he had used had not borne fruit because they were only attempts to suppress such feelings and emotions. Siddhartha now understood that their cause was ignorance, and that when one was liberated from ignorance, mental obstructions would vanish on their own, like shadows fleeing before the rising sun. Siddhartha's insight was the fruit of his deep concentration. He had attained his goal, and now his heart experienced perfect peace and ease.
The next day, we returned to the Mahabodhi Temple at dawn and relaxed for another day in Bodhgaya. Our pilgrimage was hot and exhausting, but meaningful as we walked in the footsteps of the Buddha. I especially appreciated the cave, walking on the razor-sharp cliffs, tea with Nandu, and arranging the flowers at the temple. In our next video, we head north to Rajgir, Nalanda, Patna, and Vaishali on our way to Nepal.